Okay, greetings, Patriots, Starseeds Lightworkers, and of course our brave military. Welcome to 1776 United, and I'm back in Canada. And of course, I needed to bring you up to date in a report on what I've basically have learned in the last couple of months. And number one, I'd like to start off with is the airports that I've traveled extensively throughout the Western Hemisphere, and that is, at least 50. Um, Nothing in Europe, okay, nothing in the Eastern Bloc, but mostly in the Western Hemisphere. I can honestly say that the Philippine Manila Airport, Terminal 1, 2, and 3, are now, in my eyes, rated as the most corrupt um, airports on the planet so far. And when you call them out as they're stealing your money for any little infraction to all the tourists that are going through there, um, they are just laughing it up. And when I call them out, they're just enjoying the rhetoric. Okay, I find it almost humorous, the narcissism in some of these little fucks that go around and do that. And before I say anything else, if you have children in the room, maybe ask them to leave, just for this time being. I don't know how far my patience can roll this this video, but I'll try my best. Number two, when I found out, and I'm not saying the whole. And let me just get this clear with everybody: the Philippine people are great. The country is beautiful. There is problems that they have. I don't like the way the dogs and cats run wild. The chickens run. Everything runs wild down there, and that's fine. And that's the way they want to operate life, and that's fine. But there's a lot of roadkill. I have a problem with that. Anyways, the people are beautiful, and it's just that anything with a badge on, they're any smarter than a houseplant. Okay. Now, number two, I did notice one thing, that when I was down there, the gas prices were like 88 cents Canadian to a liter of fuel in the Philippines. And when I got back to Vancouver, I looked at the uh, gas prices, and there were 185 in Vancouver, and out in Abbotsford, where I'm at, they didn't go down at all. And I just want to say one thing. The Philippines do not have any fuel gas stations or wells or refineries within 2,000 miles of it. And yet they're at 88 cents a liter. We produce our own gas and fuel. BC is one of the biggest gas producers, and you can certainly take natural gas and turn it into fuel for vehicles if somebody would get out, grow some balls and do it. Now, here we got a country that not only produces, and one of the largest producers of gas and oil on the planet. Excuse me, I just ate. But we have also uh, the most advanced technology to be able to come up with alternative fuels with all this raw natural resource. And yet again, we have politicians. I believe the difference is between the politicians in the states. They just hate the United States. The Democrats just, that's just, I mean, it's so obvious. They just want to see the United States crash, and they just hate it. And they're communists, and they're satanic, and they want to protect their fundamental income, and their arrogance is over the top. Now, whereas the Canadian politicians, they are just they don't have any balls. They will not stand up to anybody. They will buckle under any type of pressure, and it's usually coming. I think the pressure is coming from outside sources, and I'm not going to name exactly what it is because I could get myself in trouble. But I believe that they're being controlled by outside non-elected groups. and it's like very, very obvious that they do not have any fundamental control on what's going on in Canada. If we got rid of every politician in Canada right now, and we put houseplants in our parliaments and everything else and nothing else, and just let the houseplants grow and have somebody come around and water them, this country would do 10 times better than with these politicians in there. These politicians are actual parasites. Okay, they're parasitic. They do not work for you. They do not represent you, and they have somehow convinced the narcissistic membranes with badges on to protect their hoard, their layers, their investments, and they do kickbacks and extortion, and of course they work with the so-called other criminals that are around, right? So we need to, if you want to stop all this, Canadians, all we need to do is just remove these parasitic fungi or viruses that infest our offices, our government offices at all levels. But we need to start at the top. And there's no reason why we should be paying $1.85 a liter. That's $8 a gallon, where it is $4 or less than $4 a gallon in the Philippines, which is in the middle of the Pacific. No other fuel refineries around there that maybe be coming out. They might be coming within 2,000 miles would be their closest refinery. So all that would have to be shipped in. And they seem to be getting it done, only charging 88 cents a liter, where we're getting hit $1.88. So we know the obvious evidence here. There's no denying that these politicians, I'm going to call them parasites because that's what they are, have got the corruption level on full blast right now. They are, running on all cylinders, doing everything they can to cripple the Canadian people. They do not work for us. They work for the unelected banksters and cartels that I believe that are running the show up here now. I heard Trump is going to come in and he's going to take care of this situation, because having Canada doing what they're doing right now is a obvious threat to their national security. And another reason why Trump wants to bring Canada into the realm, along with the Greenland into the realm, it's for basic survival of North America as we know it. Because if we do not join arms, and I've taken that in no pun intended, if we collectively join our arms together and go fight the economic, financial shithole that we're facing right now, then we will win this economic battle. The tariffs that that have been charged or not charged or whatever would have been sufficient enough to take care of all our infrastructure and GDP and so on and so forth. But it's never been added up and added to our GDP, the amount of tariffs that can be. And I'm going back to this because I'm saying with all the fundamental stuff that we do order in or import into our country, even we having 40 million, whatever, just the raw product and all this other stuff, we just put 1 or 2 points of tariff on that would be more than enough to take care of all our infrastructure and anything to do. But no, a lot of it goes to the criminals in charge and, into their crony bodyguards to keep them employed, to protect them. It's a racket. It's racketeering, and that's what it is. And what we need to do, as what Trump had suggested, is that we need to have elected constitutional body. And what I would like to see is committees for every region throughout Canada. So there is no one head office. They're just all different regions. And that way the cartel could not attack one person. When you have a one person controlling the whole thing, and then all you have to do, his demented decisions affects millions and millions of people. So he could be right or wrong. So, but if you have committees, talking it through, and getting it done, because there would be a certain timeline on that for them to get it done by the people, and they would be run by the military. Now, the military, I've always said the military is the only way we're going to get all this cleaned up. The military is the ones that are going to come in there and clean up all the criminals and the crime and the injustice that's going on. And, listen, here's a perfect example. I went to school in Aldergrove Secondary School, high school. I didn't go there. I quit in grade 9, I think it was, whatever. But I was there for the couple of grade 7, 8, 9. I was going to school there, and there was a couple of kids that were under me. I didn't hang with them, but I knew of them, and one was by the name of Frank Gistra. And he was a couple of grades lower than I was. I knew of him or whatever. He was a bit of a weasel. And apparently he's grown up to be the exact same thing. But, he's acquired a lot of money through mining and extortion and all this other stuff over the years. And he was a great donator of the Clinton Foundation. And, we just found out again that he's up to his neck in pedophilia and everything else. And, it doesn't surprise me, and a lot of people, and I said this years and years ago, and the people that I had told it to, they don't talk to me now about that. They, totally deny that I had ever said that. So, this is the narcissism that we have living amongst us on this planet. So, and I'm going to give you a message, Frank. You know me and I know you. And what I'm going to tell you is that your days are numbered, and you're walking on thin ice right now. And you may as well go in there and come clean right now, because it'll be a lot easier on you. All right. Anyways, that being said, I want to move on to other things that we need to bring to everybody's attention, is that the corruption and the filth in this country is going to come to an end. Okay, there will be an EBS. It's going to get to the point. I heard, through the grapevine, trying to pick up information where I can, that the military and ICE is already in Chicago doing the cleanups, and now their eyes are set on Portland, and because there's been a lot of riots and shit like that down there. So they're going from city to city to getting it all cleaned up, and it's going to get to a point where, Trump is just going to call the EBS, and it won't really necessarily be called by him. And we have to understand, Trump doesn't really run the whole show. He's the front man, and we have to know that the military calls the shots on how this is being played out, because they have the intelligence. They've been working on this intelligence for more than 75 years. And this plan, this sting operation, has been underway and ongoing since 1963. All right, so we're going to watch this thing play out. I also have noticed that silver and gold are on going parabolic right now, and they're on their launching pads, and they're climbing, and the the banksters, the criminal banksters, are doing whatever they can to suppress it by buying the shorts, and buying gold in great amounts to try to drive all this other stuff down, but in the end, if, like it says, silver, I believe, is at $41.50 right now, and it's gone up $3 or $4 in the last 3 weeks. So you're going to see this steady increase in value of not just silver, but gold as well. Gold is, I think, sitting around 5,000, just over 5,000 Canadian now. And, that's really good. And what I say to all the young folks out there is this is my last few seconds here. What I would say to all the young folks, if gold is 5,000, and I know that gold is everywhere right now, all you need is a tin pan and a shovel, and you can just go out on a vacation and take your little motorhome or take your little trailer and take your kids and family out there and just enjoy the weekend by the creek and see what you can pick up, and pick up the dust, and eventually you'll get good at it, because I'll tell you something, folks, gold is everywhere, and now it is paying off. A little wee thimble like that there, like that big, that's $5,000. Okay, so let's just keep that clear. Anyways, my time is up. I just wanted to say hello from Canada, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.